$100 bills. $100
Oh.
bills.
Hello, we're live. We're waiting for Snap.
Oh, we're live?
Snap is setting up her VR play space and stuff because she's in her dorm and this is the first time she's used VR in her dorm.
From
what I can tell, that's what's going on.
Snap says VRC isn't logging her in. Just Snap, if you're watching this, just don't click the login button.
Just go to get the Crunchwrap and get some Diablo sauce. It
If eating
shouldn't be
Taco
hot for the
Bako
sake of hot.
without Diablo is wrong, then I don't want to be right. It really do be like this sometimes, don't it?
I'm just gonna wait.
Teach me how to eat, Tupper.
You'd have to ask Becca. She's the one who taught me. She's much better at it. Or Spats. Spats can also teach you. Uh-oh, I name dropped. Uh-oh.
We have a...
Oh no.
Like, why can't you... Why? Yeah, that's a good question. Why?
Why?
No, it's good. So you can sit
No
down.
way, except
and...
invite SMH.
Snap invite,
I don't have an invite.
SMH.
There it is. It just came.
I don't have an invite. Oh,
came.
there it is.
It just came.
A likely excuse.
Just came.
Friendship ended with Leroy.
I see how it is, Leroy.
Damn!
Whoa.
Ooh, got him.
Whoa.
Status got. Target
We know who
in.
the fan favorites are now. I
Like
did
maybe-
not find the snap, but I did find the bong.
What?
I love Todd Howard!
Came to see Snap. Snap can't log in. Yeah, that's actually why I came here too. Pretty much. I mean, I guess Compat. Well, whatever.
Thanks, Tupper.
All I have
See
to
you
do
too,
is
buddy.
join you at like 2 a.m. You're just gonna be sitting in front of a mirror in your park world
No, wrong.
with
because
some
I'm
other
not up at
goddamn
2 a.m.
kimono.
I'm not up at 2 a.m. anymore because I have
I
a
don't
job.
Please enjoy us arguing over mundane shit for a while.
So, what do you do for your job?
The bane of every IT person's existence. I fix printers all day.
I mean, yeah, it sounds entry level. You have to maintain any dot matrix printers. Those are good.
Be on the port whitelist.
No, because it's web. It's straight up a web download. Port 80 or 8080. Hey, we got a bit. We got a
Gamma
bit.
is now
Hell yeah.
our top
We got
bit
a bit.
donator.
We got a bit.
We got a bit.
We in it.
We
got a
in
bit.
In the money.
We
We're
got a bit.
streamers now.
Hey, we're
Yay.
real streamers.
We're rich.
All right, let's do a roast. Let's roast another streamer. PewDiePie. Oh wait, no.
No, that's too big. Dial back a little.
Whoops.
No,
boy.
no.
We got 2 more bits by Unsure Gamer. Oh boy.
Oh man,
What?
We're up to 3 whole bits.
we could.
Whoa.
Soda poppin'.
No. Let's go like regional, so like we can damage control. Yagerscast.
Leroy.
gonna blame Compat.
That's yeah. No, we can handle that. Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Wow,
Right.
we already got a
Fuck
sub.
Leroy.
Thanks, Inu.
Leroy, we're coming for you.
Yeah, that Leroy guy. Oh man, hey, there's a subscriber.
Thanks, Inu.
Neat.
Ooh.
Oh,
And then
God.
there's a. Oh no. Oh god.
Oh boy. Oh god.
Damn.
What do we do? What do we?
What do we do?
I don't-
We can't handle the popularity.
No. How do we- Thanks for
DJ Khaled suffering from success.
for tuning in to the VR chat mute list. Thanks.
Welcome to the Mutecast.
Welcome to the yeah. Oh, I'm really hungry now. Wow.
All these bits are making me hungry.
All these gray triangles sure are making
Great
my stomach growl.
triangles.
It looks like pizza
Oh,
and
jeez.
Oh, flip jump.
Oh my-
Just
Flip.
500 bits. You should turn these off.
Why should we turn these off? What's happening on
Oh,
the actual
jeez.
stream? I don't see the notifications. I also want to bark, bark, bark. Yeah, I agree.
Look at the
All right,
intruders.
we'll put it as a raid notification. Whoa.
Maybe you should put that in. If you put your mouth over someone's or not your mouth over someone's. Never mind. That's a different feature. That's a different feature.
I gotta go.
That's a different feature. You put your hand over someone's mouth that mutes their microphone, or like puts a filter on it. If you put your mouth over someone's mouth, then you get banned instantly.
Instant ban.
Oh, this is great. We're doing. There's a lot of good content. I mean, obviously, people are like giving us bits and stuff. That means that we have good content.
Hey, are you like gonna have to
At least
leave
we're not
soon,
just
or
sitting
have you
here
got
eating
time?
salad while watching videos.
I'll be here for like 2 hours.
Okay,
Oh.
that's good. That's good.
That's
We're gonna
good.
need
We're,
it.
we're not causing problems.
Another 31 bits from Untrue Gamer. Thanks, gamers.
Another
One
one
for-
added to the mute bits.
1 bit for every day between this episode and the next one. Yeah. Right?
No, that'd be 14 bits. Things.
I think Schnoop
What's-
is probably almost existing. No, I know.
Math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a big bang.
Bang! Bang!
Oh,
Bang!
that's-
Shooting! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
I'm in desktop because
That's
it's not
So-
working on my other laptop.
Oh god!
hello, welcome to Meatless. This is a
You can also turn them
podcast
off with
where a
the-
bunch of
with the
friends
stuff.
basically shitpost continually for like 2 hours or until I get too hungry and have to go to Taco Bell, which inevitably happens after every single Meatless episode. Anything said or stated by any members of the Meatless is representative of their individual opinions and not of potentially their employers or whatever. So, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think Ron's seen this. He wouldn't. It's fine. It's fine.
Ron's
Everything's
seen this?
fine. Yeah, he's seen an episode.
Damn.
I put it on the
It's
schedule
in-
today, and he was like, "Is that podcast for like VR chat stuff or like your friend stuff?" And I was like, "No, it's the Meatless." And he was like, "Oh yeah,
Everyone's
I've seen
fine.
that." Oh, is it? Has the beat dropped
would
yet?
be. It's coming in. The beat's coming.
Oh, I can
beat's
hear it.
coming.
It's great. Yeah, I can't really hear it. I'm lying. So,
I don't know. I don't know.
all
I
right.
haven't
First
seen it.
podcast of 2019, everyone.
Welcome
Off
to
to a very good start.
The intro probably played. You just want to continue.
Hey, let me try it again.
Oh my god.
We'll
Just
get
put
there
it in
eventually, guys.
post.
We'll get
Do it in
there eventually.
post.
Welcome to the
Read.
Scuff List.
Just do
Welcome.
it in post.
Welcome to the Scuff List. We had to take all of the rust off of our internet machines and unclamp our Wi-Fi and unscrew our camera. And I'm really hungry.
Yeah, no, it's
So we'll go ahead and continue anyways. Don't worry about it, Noe. We'll worry about it later.
Alright, well, I'll just cut out everything that happened from when we started mentioning that. Whoa, hello guys.
Whoa,
Wow, what
what's
a
up,
great-
guys? It's
what a
it's
great
the Scuff
intro.
List.
Whoa!
God, man, that intro is great every single time when it plays perfectly.
Wow.
Wow,
So
cool
good.
avatar.
It's amazing.
Did you notice how like in the intro there's like some really nice art of us, the five of us in the meat list?
Yeah, it's
I
really
wonder,
cute.
Wonder where that came from.
I thought it just came from like Twitter.
Came from Twitter.
Yeah. Hey, you just go on Twitter and you're like, hey, you scream into the void. I have my original character Donut Steals. Someone make some art of it, and then you just get just giant piles of just fan art dumped on top of you. Isn't that how it works?
I wish
Is
that's
it?
how it worked.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish that's how
I-
it works.
Same.
yo, we have a guest. Let's get right into that. This is RaythalosM.
Why don't you let him introduce himself?
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So my mic's a bit fucked. I'm RaythalosM. The M doesn't stand for messages. It stands for Margatroyd from
Oh,
Toho.
hey, nice. That's some old reference. Are you wait? I mean, I guess actually, yeah. I guess you were JP in the old days, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. All right. So what do you do?
Do as in
Well, let's see. If someone's watching this and they know your name, what's like why would they know your name?
probably through my drawings and probably like my VR chat transformations.
That'd be it. That's what I was getting at. Ray does really, really cute art and these really cool Kamen Rider animations. We've been like Ave does Kamen Rider theater on weekends, and we've had Ray's videos in that for like a really long time before we actually met him in VR chat.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like at some point, like I felt like the name kind of sounded familiar. And I recalled it from seeing it in the guild list in PSO2, where I was the guild leader of Hot Glue. Was it Hot Glue or was it just friends list? It was guild. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, kill.
And I think we did tacos together a few times. Hung out with Moko and Tsutune.
There's a lot of name drops going on here right now.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I knew some of those
It was
words.
good days.
Yeah, you're about to get a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of angry tweets. How dare you mention me on the
So-
internet?
Like way later. No, it's cool. Shout outs to the people I mentioned.
Gamma asks a question I want to ask. Why does everyone you know come from PSO2, Noe?
Ooh, specifically the Hot Glue crew.
please don't put it like that, Gamma. Please.
I don't know. This is the third guest we've had that's had like vague PSO2 connections to me. So that's funny. It's weird.
No way he gets
It's-
around. That's
it's
what
nice.
he's trying
I
to
don't
say.
know. I feel like prior to VR chat, that was like the nicest community I'd been in, and like I guess like good people amongst that community also float to like the surface of VR chat, or at least our side of VR chat.
So yeah, the good side of VR chat.
And then so the meat list season 2 started, and we kept changing avatars, or we kept like having like minor differences in avatars and stuff. And I wanted something to be a little more consistent than having to try and like keep updating everyone's transparent pictures every time I do like I edit the podcast. And so I commissioned, as a Christmas present to everyone here as well, I commissioned Ray to draw us, and it came out great, and it was like, it was perfect. So good.
Yep.
So good.
And
Why'd you
we
guys
actually
feel
kind
that
of
way?
like, yeah, we had to keep it like a secret for like, a week or two, and it was the worst week of my life because I just wanted to go out there and say, look at this thing, look at this thing.
Look at
But,
it, it's cute.
Oh, man.
I'm
We couldn't say anything.
sorry. It was my fault.
It was Tupper's fault.
Well,
Tupper
we-
bossing Digi around.
no, I don't want to boss Digi around. This is good, but Ray's art was so good. I was like, man, I need new Discord icon. There we go. I've had it for a while,
Yeah.
ever since like we had it. I'm pretty sure we all
We all have
simultaneously
it, yeah.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, Ray, I have a question. How did you
Yes.
initially get into like Unity animation? Was it through the Kamen Rider transformations?
Yes. Yes.
You-
I
wait,
only
seriously?
learned Unity.
Jesus.
Yeah. I learned Unity and Blender just through VRChat.
Wow.
That's terrifying because
So-
your animations are like really well polished.
So what
Yeah,
was the
thanks.
first henshin you did?
Dangerous Zombie.
Oh, damn. Okay. Nice. Like
Henshin
that's like
means
even that
transform
like
in
that's like a
Japanese.
really good one as well. You didn't start low quality. I know you had to edit it at one point because of like some
Yeah.
pictures or something, but I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
I think it might be worth
Thanks.
describing what Kamen Rider is to our less informed audience.
Okay, go ahead.
And me.
And me.
So,
Yes.
Kamen Rider is a long-running Japanese TV show. It's live action, and basically, it's like, it's really hard to describe.
The only thing I know is I've had it
Would you like
described
to
to me as
demonstrate?
Japanese Power Rangers.
Japanese Power Rangers is a good.
Yeah,
way
I
to put it.
suppose I could.
All right, our guest will
go.
demonstrate exactly what Kamen Rider is.
Exactly
should
what
we
it is.
should we move it such that we don't have a couch in the way?
Yeah, let's do it with the couch.
Okay.
You can just sit right here between the couch and the table. It should be fine.
Oh wait a minute. Okay, good.
Although, there's currently some kind of bug where
But
if
they
I
are
use
bugs
my
and they fight.
transformations, my frame drops to like 20.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
Does it fix itself after the animation?
No, it's only local though, so it shouldn't affect you guys.
So you just stay at 20 FPS until you restart?
Yes. No,
Oh, God.
until
Oh.
I cancel the animation.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Oh, damn. Oh, going right in with the good shit.
Ah, yes, my favorite. Here, you can do it right here. I'll move out of the way.
Yeah, I moved.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the triggers turned up.
Alright.
No pressure.
Oh, I already made a mistake.
By the way, I don't think the camera can see animation.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, why is there save
Nice.
percentage? No!
Nice.
No!
I first for nothing.
Again.
For nothing.
Why'd you do this?
The muteless. Everything works the first time.
Just click
that's
show
'cause- wait.
avatar. Just click show avatar.
Okay, there we
Trying
go.
to die in embarrassment.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Oh,
Redo.
no.
Let's go. Let's see the real thing.
Wait for it to reload. Hold on. The bar has to go away on the camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean this is what actors do. They just do the poses and they add the special effects.
Well, that's a good point.
Alright. Is it loaded on the camera?
It looks like it is. Yeah.
No more yellow bar?
No, let's
Alright.
let's see.
Take
Right.
2 or 3, I forget.
Yes.
Fire all engine. Derive type Derive.
It's ridiculous.
So basically, that's what Kamen Rider is.
That's Kamen Rider.
Yeah, it's a tire.
I mean, I know that.
I'm a car.
It's just wedged into your arm, so I'm concerned about everything, really.
Yeah, Carman Rider.
Yeah.
Carmen Rider. Okay.
Carmen Rider.
Kamen Rider.
Carmen San Diego.
San Diego? Yeah.
Carmen San Diego.
Carmen San Diego Rider. Oh, Jesus. Men, but they are bugs and they fight things. That's been my translation, essentially, so far, I see.
Kamen Rider is a cool thing. It's a series of many shows. They generally do like a new series every year, with it lasting like a year long, new episode every week. And like the stories are generally really nice. They have some really cool like CG transformations and stuff. Writing and cinematography rivals like some of the better like anime and stuff. And so like originally, like when I first heard about it, I was like, well, this is live action bullshit. I'm not gonna watch this. Like this is some kiddie thing. It's not gonna be as good as my Japanese
Wow,
animes.
it's just Power Rangers.
It's generally the first impression of like everyone. What is it really?
And then another friend I met in PSO2 was like, "Hey, you should watch Kamen Rider." I'm like, "No," and he's like, "No, it's really good. Watch it." And like he just pulled me into sync play one day, and we started watching Kamen Rider Gaim, and like I was like, "Oh damn, well I'm sold." Like yeah. Orange arms.
I mean, maybe that's what I need, because I had the same experience with Thunderbolt Fantasy. Like, Pants told me about Thunderbolt Fantasy, and I listened to the concept, and I was like, this sounds stupid. And then I watched it, and I was like, this is fucking cool, and I want to watch all of it.
The land is close. About that, like, I think we introduced like our friends, like some of our friends who never like watched Kamen Rider. We actually played Gaim as well in Gmod, Garry's Mod Cinema.
Oh, nice.
That's it. And then we just watched the entire season, and we got some people into it.
Yeah.
Recently though, I just started watching Build and X8 with like my friends to get them into Kamen Rider, and worked.
Yeah, and build is like build is
Yeah, Build's a really good, strong starting point for Kamen Rider.
yeah, maybe a little too strong.
Yeah, you might want to watch something just a little less
Yeah,
spectacular,
we
because that's setting
finished-
the bar pretty high.
We finished Build in Kamen Rider Theater. Abe loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's not to like?
He's very much prepared to spend a lot of money on noise plays now as well.
Yeah. The way I got
And
into
thus the circle
Kamen
is
Rider-
complete.
Yeah. The way I had gotten into Kamen Rider personally was it was actually because of Pants. I had originally seen Pants make his Kamen Rider avatars, and Pants doesn't talk, so I had I had no idea what it was until I heard some other people around him talking about Kamen Rider, and I asked him, "Hey, what is this? This looks really, really cool." And oh jeez, and that's how I got yeah, and Bo as well. If you're watching this, there's your name drop. But and so I had heard about it from VR chat, and I thought, I might as well see what this is about. It seems pretty cool. And Noe and I marathoned Kamen Rider Drive, which every series is about 50 episodes, was it? 50 or 49 around there? And
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's no simple feat to get through one of these series. It takes multiple days, but it is well worth it, and it's some of the greatest storytelling I've ever experienced.
Yeah. Good shit.
I have literally no input. I've watched one episode of it, and I was like,
It's more than me.
Eh.
What did
Yeah,
you watch?
I don't know. I watched I joined in on Abe's Theater one day. Probably
okay.
when he was
Watched a little
testing
bit of
the.
film, probably, then.
I mean, maybe he was. I think he was testing the 2017's video player back when it was still in beta, and it's, I don't know. I mean, it seemed okay. Some guy like the concept that I got so far out of one episode is like they have these little bottles and they can combine the bottles, and depending on what bottle combination they have, they can become a different animal mech or something. Like one was like a rabbit and one was like a bee or something, and then there was like a tank one also. I guess tanks are animals now, and apparently I guess there's cars. So like so what part of Kamen Rider would you recommend? It sounds like Drive is what
that was
yeah.
I mean, what you just watched, that was Build.
Okay.
His thing is that the bottles are like, he uses two bottles. One is a living thing or an organic thing, and one is an inorganic thing. And so like his main form
Usually
is
mechanical.
Rabbit Tank.
Oh, Rabbit Tank. So why is it sometimes like there's one where it's Rabbit, like double?
That's like a super form.
Okay, so you can double up on them, and then you get like super form of that type.
Specifically, like just like that's a rule. Like mainly for his main, like it's an upgraded version of his main form with the two separate qualities.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So when did they get the Megazords?
Actually, in Drive they use one.
Yeah. Drive,
In one of the Drive specials, they use one.
there is.
Huh.
Actually, no. It's in the guy in some crossover movie.
Power Ranger.
Yeah, recommendations are like quite
Dragon Knight.
definitively Build, Xaid, Gaim, and Drive.
Rangers,
In no particular
Mighty
order, both of those are
Morphin
like, all of
Power
those are good
Rangers.
shit.
And Dragon Knight.
Very accessible. Moving on from Kamen Rider, there's something that I wanted to mention that I didn't earlier, and it's just kind of a quick thing. I've been using a third Oculus controller for Waist Tracker. I'm not doing it now because it looks terrible when I sit down. And like, it made the whole thing like way easier. It's really nice to just be able to launch in the VR chat and already have waist tracking, and it just works with all my avatars. So I've been doing like little cute like cat motions just constantly, like as an idle animation.
Well, maybe they'll eventually release tracking emitters for just whatever. The only problem is still occlusion. It's much easier to occlude a camera than it is to occlude a lighthouse. Like,
Well, what I was gonna say is, how about some support for the Oculus VR object on the Oculus client?
yeah, maybe.
Confirmed. All right.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. I'm going to go ahead and set the Canny article to maybe.
Maybe. I need to add that the status. Ken needs custom status.
It does. It doesn't have them, and that's the biggest pain point I have with Canny. It's like I just want to put things that are. I want to put a status that's like good idea, but not quite yet. You know, something like that. Because there are a lot of them.
Just no.
That's another good. Usually I use closed for that.
No, never, go away.
Yeah. Stop posting.
Wow, stop posting anytime.
There's very few ideas, however, that I've seen that would get like that kind of category, though, to be fair. Most ideas at least have some, like they're usually like based out of something where it's like, okay, I can understand why you presented this idea, but this isn't really the correct solution. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, like Unity 2018.3.
Yeah,
like, that's never going to happen. It's not an LTS build. It's not.
Yeah, no, it's
Give
just
it up.
Yeah, it's just straight up not going to happen.
2018.4 LTS there. That might be a different thing.
Unsure Gamer says, "That's it for me. See you guys later. Dropping off 12 more gray pizza slices."
You sure?
Skinny pizza slices.
Yeah, they're pizza slices like that. Yeah.
Pizza. Yeah, Twitch bits.
This is the new universal sign for Twitch bits.
Yeah, guys,
just wait. That's not pizza.
we have a burger emoji yet? We got a beer
No.
emoji.
Make
This
one.
looks like a really good beer.
I
Like
can't
that
even
looks.
find
It's the taco emoji.
Hey, is
Oh, there it is.
Is the art for the emoji in VR chat? Is that from someone
Alternate
in the
bits.
team, or is it
Yeah.
like free
No,
use
our-
stuff?
So, Roctopus, who is
Oh, Rock did
the
it.
art person. Yeah, Roctopus makes it.
Damn.
Pretty much all. I mean, a lot of them are based off of, very obviously the Thonk face is like, yeah, it's thinking. It's like a standard, but I think he rebuilt it completely. Where's the coffee emoji? That is a great question. I'll need to get one. You know what I should do? I'm gonna make one, or at least ask him for the template in Photoshop, and I'm gonna make it look like the Voyager mug. So it's like the clear mug with the little wraparound bits. I'll do that. Got to slip it in where I can.
The perks of being community manager.
Let's try and get on topic. We have a few things that we actually did need to talk about, and we are behind schedule given our technical difficulties.
You're behind schedule.
Yes, I am. We all are.
What technical
But-
difficulties? There were no technical difficulties.
I think since the features are already being used, it might be worth noting we're Twitch affiliates now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
So no,
we got,
you know more about that than we do. So
we got approved for affiliate status like back before the Game Awards stream. That was fun. Go watch that if you haven't already. We got approved for affiliate back before then. And we kind of talked it over about like, do we actually want to do this and stuff? And ultimately, like, we concluded like, yeah, it'll be fun. It'd be nice to like act a little bit more like streamers. I don't think there's any like real need for the mute list to like get huge or anything. But it's nice to just have fun with bits going on and subs and everything.
Yeah.
we like money. Who
As far as like
There are
we're
two
out
types
of
of
money,
people.
basically.
Yeah,
We don't
we're not
value
taking
any of
this
you, we
seriously.
just want money.
Yeah, exactly. So like, pretty much all the money is going to go directly into buying trackers, even though I'm, pretty sure all of us already have them. I think.
And trackers.
You have
We
trackers?
we actually no, we all do.
Snap.
We all do.
Yeah,
Snap
yeah,
does
we
as
all
well.
do. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're just going to buy some more trackers just because.
Just
And keep buying
No.
trackers.
Yeah.
What I
Pretty
hope
much.
we end up spending it on is decent equipment for streaming, like proper microphones and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So
I
we
don't
all
know,
sound like
like-
potatoes.
I don't expect much of a return, if anything, anytime soon. I think
No,
like at the
no,
very
no, no,
minimum,
no, no.
it's 2 months
Here's what-
before anything comes through, and that's if we've made $100 or $200.
Here's what we're gonna do, and actually, I do want to bring this up
Ooh.
as well.
Strategy meeting. Let's go.
So here's our financial strategy meeting. I believe most
don't
of
watch
us
this.
are. Yeah, stop. Just go watch. Fucking Ninja or whatever
Keep the
kids
tab
watch
open,
nowadays.
but just like mute
Yeah.
it for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Like we still need the
So-
views.
I think most of us are going to SakuraCon, right? I think most
Yes.
of us are going to SakuraCon, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Are you? You're going. Yeah, you're
Okay.
going. I'm
We'll
going.
talk about that later.
Okay. And then you're going, and then you're going. You're sleeping in the shower, or maybe. Okay, you'll probably sleep in the shower. Right. So we should go to Taco Bell and buy like 2 tacos with the bits, because
So we do like a Twitch funded taco cast.
yeah,
Oh, like we did in LA that one time. That'd be great. That'd be a great idea.
yeah. Except we paid for that. This time we're gonna get like 2 regular tacos for free.
We're just gonna split the 2 tacos between us.
Yeah,
Mouth to
Between
mouth.
all.
right. It'll be like it's an indirect kiss.
That's lewd.
That's lewd.
That's lewd.
That's gay.
I'm gay.
The mute list.
Anyway.
Summer movie
Yeah.
OVA 2
Summer
coming
movie
soon
too.
to a
Yeah.
theater Summer.
Yeah, the producers
first
are
one was
literally
so
a
good, we
one-trick
need a
pony.
sequel.
Yeah. We basically all they know how to do is to walk into a Taco Bell, make sure there's no meth heads inside, and then record an episode of them shit talking the whole
Okay,
time.
but
Also,
to be fair, the last
What?
time we did a taco cast at Taco Bell, a lady walked in there and threw a chair. So
Yeah, that
oh
was
yeah, she
great.
did. She did.
That was
What
amazing.
Yeah.
county too?
That
We
did
should get
happen.
video next time.
yeah.
Oh God.
Ray, would you
Should
like
invite her
tacos
as
as
a
well?
guest.
We might have enough to buy a third taco. Do you maybe?
I have actually never eaten tacos before.
Oh.
What?
Like no
Oh.
tacos
Actually,
ever?
okay.
Yeah, like they don't actually
You're not
like usually sell
much.
them around my region.
They didn't sell in the UK either. Like Taco Bell was the first time for me. It was my taco virginity.
Why'd you
I,
have to
I
go
went
like
to all the way to
that?
America.
Anyway,
mean-
to be fair,
Well,
I was about to
actually-
say, to be fair, the taco cast was your first time having tacos before. So
I wanted to say, can I make a reference quickly?
I
You're
really
gonna do it
wish you
regardless.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
Time
just
attack client orders. Okay, move on.
well, Ray got it, so I guess that's fine.
He's the only one who did.
Pants.
I'm not gonna
tacos.
talk about this.
Pants wins tacos.
When's
And
tacos?
tacos win.
When does tacos reset?
Um,
So I
when do
got.
tacos
I,
yeah.
we have another topic. We have another
Okay.
topic here.
Yeah.
You know what's happened? Like, you saw it, right? VR chat got an update. One of them, they got multiple updates. One of them was that it's on Unity 2017 completely now. Like that's
Yeah.
all
Oh
done.
God, has it been that long?
I think it was
Yeah.
like just kind of happening when we
Yeah.
did the Game Awards.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the other thing, we have like some new features.
Oh yeah.
Avatar
God,
related
it has
features.
been a while. So
Pretty cool.
yeah, there's a lot of strange new things that happened over the holidays, mostly because it was like, hey, we got the holidays, we're gonna go on vacation, let's have some fun things to do while we're gone. And one of them was the ability to do this by just clicking on another user that's wearing a public avatar. No, not that. Don't look at that. You can click on someone and clone their avatar as long as, number one, their avatar is public, and number two, they have allow avatar cloning enabled inside of your settings. So anyone can clone any avatar as long as it meets those conditions, which means that a lot of weird things happen. On top of that, we also increased the number of favorite avatars from 3 to 16. So there's a lot more now. You can save avatars, pretty much whatever you find. You could, Janeway, I guess.
House?
Eben.
Yeah. Eben. Let's see what else.
Eben.
There's also
Eben.
Eben. There's also, hold on, here we go. This is perfect.
There's a more
What else came out?
controversial thing.
Wait, what was the more controversial thing? I wasn't aware there was controversy.
There's always controversy.
There's always
Tucker.
controversy.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, now, here we go. Now
There's
it's tiny.
there's a thing, where you can, if I open my my menu, I can see that actually everyone here is pretty well optimized.
Oh, God, God, I've been living with that for so long. So there's now
I need to go better.
a button that you can click on when you, so
Really
I
nice
pull up my
eyes.
quick menu and I select compatible and I click on show avatar stats and I can now see that he's
Oh,
lazy
good.
and
He's
didn't
gonna
merge
shame
9 of
me.
his materials. And he can shame them and make them do better and be a better person overall.
I mean, I'm not going to
Um,
do anything about it, but
Right. It's mostly meant as an informational system. It's inaccurate a lot of the times and like it doesn't count correctly, but it's mostly meant to get people thinking about how to optimize avatars. And it has.
Hmm.
Like avatars have gotten a lot better recently. Fuck. As far as general performance goes, so I would call it a success, although it does need some tweaking.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
again,
some people had issues with it, like, and I saw some kind of protesty avatars where it was like, VR chat devs don't know how to optimize. Look, I have this avatar and it says excellent and it lags everyone. Huh.
Well, yeah, duh. I mean, we said that in the documentation and in the patch notes.
It's not an
Yeah.
end all.
I am legendary.
It's not a final word.
Yeah, it's like you can obviously come up with ways to make your avatar perform like shit and make it say excellent in the
Pretty
menu.
good right now.
Good job, I guess. Like, it wasn't really the point. The point was to get people thinking about, hey, why is it bad if I have 2,000 dynamic bone transforms? Why is it bad if I have a billion
Why
dynamic
is
bone
it bad
colliders?
if I have 16,000 collision checks?
Yeah, exactly. So, like,
16,000.
Did somebody say 16,000 collision checks?
Oh
no,
no.
no.
I'm not going to.
You will murder the camera and probably also Snap.
Yeah, probably.
So, let me see what else was in there. God, what else did we add in?
The networking IK that was in for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't 20 minutes. It was like a night. So, we also introduced a new IK system, and what IK is it stands for inverse kinematics, and in short, it basically tells your model or your rig on your model how to move based on just the position of your hand. So, like, my hand is positioned here with this rotation in space. How should it pose the rest of my body? That's IK. The way it works right now is that everyone in this room is sending me their IK targets, essentially. Like where the controllers are. So my computer knows that there's a puck here, there's a puck here, there's a puck there, and then there's 2 controllers in Compat's hand, and then a headset on Compat's head. I then have to run the calculation locally to figure out how should the IK look based on this information, and I end up with this pose. Networked IK would have, or not would have, it did do the calculations for yourself locally, and then send that out to everyone else in the room. The reason we do that is because these calculations are expensive. When you've only got like 6 people in a room, who cares? Not that big of a deal. When you've got 20 or 30 people in a room, then it starts to become a problem. So networked IK was, let's make this less of a CPU problem and more of a bandwidth problem. There were some load issues with it, and I'm saying load specifically and not bandwidth for very specific reasons. So it had to get pulled back. Like, it basically was like, things happened that we didn't expect to happen, even though we did some pretty heavy forecasting on what might happen. Oh well, that's kind of what it was there for. We planned on being able to pull it back if we needed to, and it's very much a thing we want to add back in. It just needs a little bit more iteration. It's a pretty big focus for our performance project over the next couple of like weeks / month, whatever. Next period of time.
So we can like we'll hopefully be like seeing this in a more kind of finished state in the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
No, that's
yeah, because I mean, it was. I remember like it was like a really promising thing. You could get a lot of people in a room, and there'd be very little. Like pretty huge performance increases, really. I mean, people they always say not to expect much, but I don't work for VI Chat, so I can say it was massive. It was great.
Yeah.
What's up?
So
I just wanted to mention that Tupper has like these 2 strands of hair coming from the top of his head right here that kind of look like floppy dog ears.
Yeah.
What?
Floppy dog ears.
Shit. Bark. Okay. One other thing I did want to add is that, yes, I also experienced a lot of different groups, in particular, generally a virtual reality group. The members of that group came up to me and said repeatedly, "Oh my God, this is the best change ever. I'm able to sit in a room with 30 people and, sit at a reasonable FPS." Which, yes, you could. but unfortunately, it was just not meant to be at that particular time. And a bunch of them got really drunk and really angry, but that always happens. Whatever. Hey.
Yeah.
It was a good experiment, and it will be expanded upon and then released as a not experiment kind of state. Those kind of things you can't really test without actually putting it in live. Like, there's a lot of things out there where it's like, we don't know how this is going to act until it goes 100% live. There's just too many factors involved. You can kind of guess and get like a 90% correct guess, but that last 10% is a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I didn't think I'm saying too much to say that I've been in some private tests and where like everything has just been like perfect. Like, yep, this works, this works. Yep, cool. All right, push it. And it goes live, and then the next day, like, everything is on fire, and people are shouting in Discord like, test this. They should have tested this first. It got tested.
Yeah, like the day before, we had like 20 people, 30 people in the same instance testing repeatedly for 5 hours straight, trying to break it every which way they possibly can. And it doesn't break, and then immediately it comes out, and someone's weird edge case breaks it for everyone. So,
or it just can't like it just can't scale up. Like there's just a point at which like there's too many people or too many things going on.
If you think about it as like a signal, like a wave or something, you get these little interferences and things like that. But the problem is even if your amplitude feels sufficiently high for a small group, you don't really get a pattern out of it until you get a huge, I guess, sample size or a huge amplitude out of it. So you don't see those problems come out until you're in live, basically.
I understood some of those words.
You can mitigate a lot of it, but yeah, amplitude as in strength or like number of people in this case.
Yeah.
My social tag won't update. Fix it, Tupper. Okay. Close your menu and reopen your social menu. Sometimes I run into that. Sometimes I have to expand it. That works too.
Remember that one time where Ave was making a huge deal out of the social menu, like updating instantly? And it was like really slow before, and then it was really, really fast. And then now, as time has gone on, it's gotten very, very slow again.
Yeah. So there's a bit more story to this that I can't tell because it's internal stuff. But basically, suffice it to say that like the way friends work isn't great. Like.
Well, I could have told you that.
And what I mean. Well, what I mean isn't like, I can send a friend request to Noe and Noe can be my friend. That's not what I mean. What I mean is how they work, the gears and nuts and bolts. The internals isn't really great, and we're aware of that, and we've been aware of that. It's just that it's really ingrained into, obviously, a social app. So if we change it, we got to change it right, and we have to change it all correctly at once. Just use Spatial OS. We can. They worked out a deal. Spatial OS is no longer an issue on Unity. So, yeah.
Speaking of Unity, I kind of wanted to sidetrack into this, unless you had something...
No.
I kind of wanted to sidetrack into our guest, who's been sitting here very patiently and quietly for the past, 30 minutes, as Tupper's explained all of this VR chat stuff. I wanted to learn a little bit more about, how you learned how to do what you do. What's your history? What's your background with these kinds of creations? How did you learn how to use Blender and Unity and animate all of these cool things that you do?
Well, first of all, I had plenty of background in animation, I guess. When I was a kid, I would usually just make random flash animations and will eventually grow.
Newground.
But the first time I thought 3D and 3D animation would be Newground shit. But first I thought 3D is a and
Oh no. Getting some net trouble?
That was
Oh
me.
no.
Yeah, I thought it was me for a second.
That,
Oh no.
that face.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Uh,
I'll hold the pose.
we lost a guest.
They died.
Well, wrap it
They
up.
have died. They're gone. That's it.
Wrap it up, guys.
We can't have a podcast anymore. We killed a
game
guest
over.
on the air.
I wasn't here.
Thanks.
Oh, no.
Yeah, having trouble with my net right now.
Well, at least your voice is coming through now.
Yeah. I
So
think it's
you-
currently 600.
Let's try to cover this. Newgrounds. You're on,
So,
Yeah.
you started doing Newgrounds. You started stuff with like Flash animations and Newgrounds.
So first time I actually did animations or like for 3D is like in Blender and Unity.
Hmm.
But previously, I'm doing game courses in like Singapore for like
Oh, okay.
with like Maya, but I haven't actually like did proper animations with it.
Okay, nice.
And frankly, I didn't like using Maya, and like doing the course in my school was like kind of I'll just do whatever. And then
Yeah, I know what you mean.
once I actually
I did games technology at a university in the UK, and we had like quite a big, sizable portion on Maya, and it was like it's very powerful and stuff if you like Mel, but aside from that, I really wasn't getting into Maya. I like using Blender a lot more than I ever enjoyed Maya.
yeah, same.
And then like yeah, and then Unity is like great. I really love Unity.
Yeah. I had like
Oh no.
And
Oh no.
Just keep doing that. That's fine.
I'm sorry for my connection.
It's okay.
Don't worry
No,
about it.
no.
I had to wait
You
out
and
the
me
snap
both.
connection.
No,
dude, I
this is
apologize.
this is just the technical difficulties episode.
Yeah. We'll get back into it.
Like I said, that's the
Eventually.
wrong podcast.
But yeah, I did get into Unity for a bit, but I didn't know how to use it, so I just used like blocks and doing random things,
Yeah.
and it made me fail. I
Oh, no.
almost failed my course, but I managed to pull through. And then I got into VR chat, and yeah, it gave me the motivation to actually start learning Blender and Unity, because apparently wanting to be an animator was like enough motivation for everyone.
Yeah, well,
Yes, that's
I mean,
true.
I did kind of notice that with you in PSO2 as well. Like you seem to spend quite a lot of time trying to make like a good bet.
You know, fashion is the true endgame.
Yes.
Yep.
Just
Fashion
like
is
a
the
new
true
name
ending
about.
too. Yep.
Yep.
So
Any game
I got
ever.
another unrelated thing, if it's okay. Vive did a thing.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh, no.
Everyone was like,
I'm
everyone was
tapping
like,
out on this one. I'm tapping out on this one.
Vive announced 2 new headsets, 2 new VR headsets.
In heavy quotes.
And yeah, it's so the first one, pretty simple, easy to explain. The Vive Pro Eye is a Vive Pro with eye tracking.
Fake eye tracking.
What do you mean fake eye tracking?
It doesn't do anything that eye tracking is meant for, like foveated rendering.
Look, can it track your eyes?
Yes, but like there's no point to it. Like it's only meant for like interaction with the interface. The main
Well,
technical
That sucks. Why
point.
would you use eye tracking for that?
the main technical point, well, right, it's meant to be, so this is the way they worded it. They basically said if you have an enterprise headset that's used for like training or something along those lines, using your eyes to look at an interface to interact with it is more natural than, you know, using controllers where you can pose your hands and it acts like how they're posing. I don't know. What are you doing, HTC? Stop it.
So the other thing they announced is
mobile
the
VR.
Vive Cosmos.
Mobile
So-
VR.
Mobile
It's not-
VR.
no. So Cosmos isn't, from what we can tell, technically mobile VR. It's a tethered VR that can optionally go mobile. Like, it's weird. You can tether it to your phone or you can tether it to your PC. It uses... Compat doesn't like the fact that it's mobile. I don't like the fact that it's headset-mounted camera-based tracking, because that's a meme and I hate it. But, like...
So it's the Nintendo Switch of VR.
It's the Nintendo. It's the DS2D or what? It's the big flat thing of VR.
No. It's the Switch.
It's
VR,
the Game Boy.
Except it can't play any desktop games, and it can't play any mobile games. It just can't do anything. You can use it on
Game
both.
Boy.
VMU of VR.
It's the Game Boy Micro of VR. Yeah, none of you have thought about that for 10 years. You're welcome.
Everyone loved the Game Boy Micro.
Yeah, but it almost immediately failed.
Well, yeah, because the DS was out.
Right.
But like, it's considered like a really good
Right.
system.
What I'm saying is if the Cosmos had come out a year ago, like before WMR even, probably would have
yeah.
been pretty good.
Mhm.
But it's coming out like 2 years late with technology that's a year and a half late, that's cheaper everywhere else, and their gimmick appears to be like so underwhelming that they haven't even advertised it yet.
Well, yeah, like I was thinking about that actually. Like, my initial thought was like, okay, that sounds all right. So you can use it as a home VR headset, or you can use it as a mobile VR headset.
Sure.
But then, like, so what you're saying is it has RiftCat built in.
Well, sort of, because I assume that when it's plugged in and tethered, like right, it's treated as an actual headset. Like SteamVR picks it up and uses it as an actual headset. Which reminds me, I have to bitch about something after we're done with this topic. I have a very good topic to bitch about.
Cool. Let's do it.
So I don't know. I feel like HTC and both Rift and Oculus need to, like, I don't even care if it's a Vive 1.5 or a Oculus 1.5. But the hardware we're using at this point.
1.5.
No, that's a Vive like 1.102. It's, I don't know. It's too expensive.
Minor patch.
Yeah, it's a minor patch meant for enterprise usage. The Vive Pro is never meant for home usage, and they keep saying it over and over. And then I started believing it.
Dead.
Right, exactly. Like the audience that is using VR at home in Steam VR doesn't have a choice. Thankfully, Valve knows about that, so they're making a headset and controllers, and probably a game to go with it. Probably Portal. Yeah. Oh yeah. Compat has. You have Knuckles EV3s.
DVs. I got the
Okay,
DVs
you have
as well.
DVs. Yeah. So I also have
EV3s.
Yeah, like Valve at one
Everyone's
point was
getting
just
nuts
yeah.
Yeah, I got EV3s as well.
Yeah, everybody has the Nux. At one point, Valve was just like, "Fuck it, we've got so many of these. Just anyone who says that they're a dev, let's just hand them out." So I've got a
pair
pair.
Knuckles.
Yeah, I had I had 2 pairs of EV3s. One pair I sent to Cubed, and then I also have a pair of DVs. The VR chat team has, among us, a lot of Knuckles. We have a lot of Knuckles controllers. And then our users, like tons of our users have them. You guys will have them. Like some users are putting them through some pretty heavy paces, like Jakey, who is like a Twitch streamer who does like dancing and modeling and that kind of stuff. They have put their Knuckles through heavy paces, like doing handstands and shit. It's crazy.
Oh, okay.
But yes. Yeah. That's all I got for.
I've been playing a lot
Knuckles.
of Beat Saber with mine, and sometimes the little back of the felt like the felt strap gets really sweaty, and like you take them off, you take a drink or something, and you put them back on, and then they're all sweaty and gross, and it's disgusting.
Stop
Yeah.
sweating for it.
Yeah,
But at least the strap isn't broken on them.
that's true. Yeah, there's
What
been
else did you want to bitch
issues.
about?
Oh yeah.
Pimax.
So
Pie tools.
I did.
Called it.
Yeah. I did get another headset that I've been waiting over a year and a half for at this point.
Oh, no.
So I backed the Pimax Kickstarter, and I backed the early bird 8K, and then I later downgraded to the 5K plus, which
Yeah,
does give me like a
box.
coupon or whatever. So I have sitting next to me the Pimax box, which was not empty, but it might as well have been. The headset. Let me go through what I had for my TLDRs. The screen is gorgeous. Like, the screen is great. SDE is near non-existent. The FOV is massive to the point of actually being a problem. The lenses are huge and very clear. There's very little God rays or any kind of distortion. They have nailed the screens down like perfectly. The problem is the rest of everything is a total disaster. Comfort is garbage. It is painful to wear, and there's no correct way to wear the headset. Like, the head strap is completely useless. It's like they designed it for people with. Okay, I think they non-ironically didn't take into account the average head sizes of people around the world when they designed this headset, because my head's pretty big, and like, this headset was designed for someone with a smaller head than I have. So like, I can't comfortably wear it. On top of that, the foam on the headset itself is complete trash. Like, I immediately took it off and just replaced it with a spare Vive like foam I had, and it actually helped out quite a bit. Another thing that's complete garbage. So the headset is like, okay, Sin, here, look straightforward for me. So if yeah, like that way. So if the headset's pretty wide, like, it's about like this on Sin. It makes you look like Genji, honestly. Like, it's got that little thing on the front. You look like a fucking VR ninja. The problem is you would think, where's a great place to put the microphone? The Vive and the Rift would say, well, you put it right here. Pimax is like, no, you're wrong. Let's put it over here. So it's shoved up on your right side by about 3.5 inches from the center of your face, which means that if you want to talk, you have to like talk like, hello, you gotta talk like this in order for you to get any kind of volume. It's ridiculous. And now there's another problem with it. The software. The software is complete and total trash. They have decided to basically say, hey, look at all this cool Steam VR stuff that, Valve has provided that basically allows us to hook hardware directly into the Lighthouse system with essentially zero effort. What they said instead is, hey, cool, thanks, but we're going to rebuild exactly what you're doing with all that software, but in our own software, and it's also going to be complete trash. I don't understand the reasoning for this. Okay, I got it back. I don't, it hooks into Steam VR. Like, it works with Steam VR, but it sits on top. It's weird. And it doesn't have an interface. Like, it's not like Oculus. It doesn't have, like, a store or anything.
Like, what do you mean it sits on top?
Like, in order for me to run the Pimax, I have to also have PyTool running. And PyTool has to have the controllers paired to it, and the Lighthouse is recognized in it before I can then launch Steam VR.
What does PyTool do?
As far as I can tell, it basically manages the FO. Like, you can adjust like the sample size of the resolution or whatever inside of the headset, which you kind of have to do, because if you run it at full actual resolution, it runs like trash. I have to run it at about half resolution, and then it lets Steam VR scale it back up.
I mean, wouldn't Steam VR, would Steam VR's super sampling work for that?
It does, but right, but that doesn't work. Like, for some reason, it doesn't want to downsample; it only upsamples properly. I think this is a problem with their software.
So you mean to tell me you're gonna buy a 5K headset, right? Which the actual resolution is like what? Like
2560 by, or I'm sorry, 1440 by 2560 times 2. So two
right.
220 or two 1440p screens.
We're kind of stretching
So-
the term 5K here.
Yeah, so not only
But
are
yeah.
you
Yeah.
stretching the term 5K here already, but even with a powerful computer like you have, which you got like an i9 and a 2080 or something, like a
Yeah.
ridiculous overpowered rig, and you still have to downsample it because you can't run it.
And that's just for pixel pushing. Like it
But
has
isn't
issues
that, like-
pushing those pixels to the headset.
I mean, we run VR chat at that kind of res anyway with super sampling.
Yeah. The problem is the pure, like, it's the software standing in between, I think, is one of the big problems because you don't actually have a really good idea of what the fuck you're actually doing because there's too many steps. It's like, okay, well, this is running at 1.0, but then Steam VR is doing its own thing to try and compensate for pushing that massive amount of pixels, so it's shifting around. I don't know. It's really frustrating. It also took me about 3 hours for me to like do the setup in the correct order. And that wasn't like 3 hours of me doing one setup cycle. That was like, I set it up, didn't work, uninstalled, try again. Set it up, didn't work, uninstalled, try again. About 6 or 7 times, until finally I just managed to hit the cycle that just worked.
I did see your messages while you were doing that.
Yeah, I was just bitching constantly.
Yeah.
Okay, the screens like itself, the screen itself, the headset itself is great. Like it's gorgeous. Everything else about it cannot recommend at all. Just buy a Rift or a Vive or a Lenovo Explorer, I guess, if you want to do a WMR. Like it's a do not buy right now at all, which is unfortunate because it's probably the best screen available on any headset on the market right now.
Yeah, and it also like part of the pitch, like part of the appeal to me was like the Steam VR headset. But
Yeah.
it seems like they've canceled out like a good part of like what
Right.
makes that good, in that
Yeah.
like it has this stupid intermediary software.
Right. So I
like
haven't
what you have to
tested
go
it yet,
with Rift.
but I suspect that you can't actually use full body tracking with the Pimax because once you connect something in, and I might be wrong about this, I haven't tested it. Once you connect the Pimax like Pi tool in, you see pop up in your Steam VR window, you see the headset, but it's just got like a Pi symbol over it. And then you see the controllers, which are my Vive wands. It's the same thing. It's literally just the 5 fucking wands, and the Pi symbol appears over it. Same thing for the lighthouses. So like it's injecting itself on top of like these devices and saying, no, these aren't actually Vive lighthouses and Vive wands. They're Pimax lighthouses and Pimax wands. And it's like, no, they're not. But what's even worse is because they're doing this, I paired my Knuckles controllers in, and it couldn't recognize them as Knuckles. They were wands.
Oh god.
Because Pimax doesn't support the wand. So now the problem is you've got this amazing system in Steam VR and OpenVR that says you can support anything that, follows these standards. And Pimax is like, JK, you can't do any of that unless we program in support for it in our system. All they need to do is dump their Pi tool thing. Like they just need to dump Pi tool completely, figure out a way to shove it in like with Steam VR, and they would have 50% of their problems gone. Problem is there's still the 50% of other problems, which is it's utterly uncomfortable to wear. The microphone is untenable. Like they didn't even think about the microphone. They honestly, it's an afterthought. They drilled in the thing into the side. They were like, oh shit, we forgot to put the microphone in.
Shit.
It was a literal afterthought. And then finally the head strap. The head strap is really bad. Worse than the default Vive.
Those are some pretty big words there, Tupper.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not great. Did Ray get interneted again?
Yeah.
I think so.
Damn it. Anyways, they're going to sell their own controllers and lighthouses, and I think Pi Tool is their FOV and distortion profile solution. Yeah, but you can do that in Steam VR. Like distortion profiles you can load in using the lighthouse system, Like you can load in whatever profile, distortion profile you want. I did it to change it for my Vive headset when I changed lenses. And FOV, you can also do that through Steam VR. I think Steam VR doesn't respect the FOV as high as the Pi tool or Pimax allows or Pimax has. But like they could have just said, I mean, Valve's receptive to developers. All you have to do is say, "Hey, we're doing this," and they'll say, "Okay," and they'll change it. Like, I feel like they didn't take the proper steps. I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm pretty sure the best of WMR are the Odyssey Plus and the Dell Visor. Lenovo Explorer is notoriously bad. Oh, okay. I keep getting the Odyssey and the Explorer mixed up. But yeah.
Yeah,
I think the Odyssey
sounds
Plus.
pretty good.
Yeah, the Odyssey Plus I have heard is very good.
Yeah, so
Never mind, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, best solution then, Odyssey Plus with a Vive puck.
Oh god. That's
Yeah.
exactly where I was going with it. Like the best
Yeah.
system you can have right now for like visual fidelity would be like an Odyssey Plus with a Vive tracker stuck on top of it,
Yeah.
and lighthouses for like knuckles and then trackers. That's probably the best you're gonna get.
Yeah, probably. Where's my mug? No, I don't want yours.
Your
It's
mug
fucking
is literally
strong arm.
gone. What the
That's
hell?
here.
Stop sticking mugs on your. That's perfect. You're like stashing them beneath your ass. The animation is perfect. Oh
Is
my
this
god.
intended behavior?
What?
Oh.
They're not falling
So
for you.
good.
What's
Oh, hey,
what's
I'm
going
not-
on?
No, it's
That's been happening every now and then. Pickup.
it's literally just it's just
local
floating.
for you. All of us see
That looks so
falling.
funny.
Yeah, it's
Oh my god.
it's literally just floating for you.
Oh, that's what Polecat was trying to show me.
Hopefully, most people I know that use Pimax can't go back to old headsets anymore due to the FOV. Hopefully, Valve's new headset isn't with HTC. It isn't. They're manufacturing their own headset, just like the Knuckles. I've used the Pimax, and I absolutely can go back to the old FOV on other headsets because the Pimax gives me bad headaches because of the foam. It's bad.
And
real
the
bad.
stress for everything else.
And all the stress from having to set up the software.
Damn.
Do we have any more topics
Yeah,
we want to go through?
We have quite a lot.
Oh god, we're already almost at 2 hours.
Oh,
It's
shit.
just such, I don't
We
know how
better-
this. Like, what animation blending is this? It's perfect. You just like kind of, it's like, yep, this goes under my ass. There you go. Snap's sitting on some eggs that are mugs.
Ray, it's don't give up. Just keep reconnecting. Don't let it get you.
So
Don't
that's all
let
I've got
it
to
win.
bitch about. I'll be
Alright.
quiet now.
Okay, okay. That's next thing on the
What I
list.
like,
Oh yeah, what's up?
what I like about the new VR chat update is like, if I get DC'd, I immediately rejoin the session.
Yeah, I've noticed you
No.
like reconnecting pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought Noe was just over there with like quickest invite in the West or something.
Same session, straight back in.
Huh.
Um,
It
okay,
used to
next
not
actual
do that.
thing. VR chat's 5 years old.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were talking about that.
Yeah, they did a thing. They did a thing where like everyone got on like the first VR chat world and used like the early avatar where it was just a T-posing guy. I wasn't there for that. Were any of you there?
No.
No. Oh, Tapu.
Oh, no,
was?
no, for that? Oh, I thought you meant the celebration. God, no, none of us were
Oh,
around for that.
The
No, for
celebration.
the celebration, yes.
Yeah.
The original event, hell no, none of us were here.
But yeah, I mean, the original, like 5 years ago, you mean?
Yeah.
None of us were here 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Who even was? Like, just
Who
Jesse?
even was alive in 2014?
Well, I mean, there was a select. I mean, there's screenshots and stuff from back then, and there's like names that you see in that group that are still around every once in a while.
Yeah, like, actually 5 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, I was there during the weekend. It was pretty fun. People were pretty chill. We set up some of the old worlds, and people hung out in them. It was cool.
I saw some pretty cute screenshots of some of the devs interacting. Like Gunter and Pill, I think, were having fun together.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the team tried to hang out there during the event.
It's nice to see like people actually having fun.
Yeah, remember when we used to have fun?
I have fun every day.
Fun?
To be honest, like recently, I've really been enjoying VR chat. After coming back from Japan, like I've been getting on like as much as possible, and I've been talking to like different people, I guess, because I've been getting on it like different times, and I've been catching up with PDM, and I've been joining on some Japanese people, and the Akamiko, Ukan, Quiche crowd.
Yeah,
It's great. There's a lot of really cute instances.
Yeah, I've been waking up at like 6 a.m. recently for various reasons, so I've been seeing a different crowd very recently, which is refreshing.
Yeah. It was interesting to talk to PDM actually. It kind of like, because I've been friends with PDM for over a year, but like I didn't like way back then they were totally silent. Now they talk, but it felt like we never stopped being friends or anything. It's just like they've always been there. It never really felt like they weren't a part of what VR chat was for me. And it's cool to have more interaction again. Don't forget your friends. Never forget your friends. They're always there. Someone is always there for you.
Except me. Don't call me. Don't at me.
Yeah,
Don't at me.
Tupper's too busy for your bullshit.
Tupper's too busy.
He's too busy for my bullshit.
I'm too hungry.
Tupper's hungry.
When aren't you hungry, Tupper?
And next thing on the list, another anniversary came up. Anniversary of Combat being born.
What?
Yeah, you had your birthday like a few days ago.
Oh yeah, like 4 days ago.
I was yawning.
Yeah, and you had your VR space renovated.
It was fun. I got some lights.
I was moving into my dorm, so I wasn't able to get on.
Yeah, it's okay. I knew you weren't gonna remember anyway.
I remember. I literally pinged you at midnight. Okay.
No.
Snap did. I did not. That whole day I didn't say anything. Because I was like, man, I should tell Compat happy birthday. And
Literally forgot my birthday.
I didn't forget, but I was like at least twice during that day, including like that evening after Snap did happy birthday. I was like, I should tell Compat happy birthday. And then like I went to sleep and then I woke up, and sometime during that day I recall saying, I should tell Compat happy birthday. And then like I was doing work and meetings and shit like that. And by the time I went back to bed, I was like, shit. Oh well.
Shit.
Thank you, Inu.
How does it feel being 19? Everyone says that whenever someone has a birthday. How does it feel being the age that you are?
How does it feel being day older? Well, feels like being a day older. Now I have a job and
It's
I have
tough,
to do
but
taxes.
Oh, yeah,
it's tough, but you gotta do it.
Yeah, I got a job on my birthday. That's what I got.
Nice.
I had a job.
You know, usually your family will like get you money or like some nice small gift. No, you know what I got? I got a job.
Well, you're getting money. You just have to work for it.
Yeah, I actually did get some gifts, but I'll let those people remain anonymous. But thank you anyway.
Hey, it's hard to find a job here.
Oh yeah, it's hard to find a job. I sent out like 26 applications before I got accepted. Anywhere.
I can beat that.
I mean, it's not a competition, but getting a job is not
Getting
easy.
a job's not easy. Doesn't matter what you got. Doesn't matter what qualifications you got.
Unless you're Tupper, then you just you're at the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
You just
unless
kinda stumble into
you're
one.
Mr. Unless you're Mr.
Don't look at me
Q.
like that, Ray. The fuck? That's rude.
That's rude.
Literally plays
That's a
video
great
games
face.
as his job.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah,
that's
play
true.
video games all day.
All I did today was definitely not sit in a bunch of meetings and a bunch of different I had to do reviews of various content that may or may not be world related or whatever, and all
Tupper
these other things.
Literally just made a video on YouTube teaching people how to become an anime girl, and it got him a job.
Yeah, I regret every moment of that video. Stop using flatlit tune. Delete dynamic bones.
Just
Stop.
delete the video.
I remember the first iteration of that video where you were so now you download the shader from a guy named Cube Paradox, and I believe he actually plays VR chat and interacts with the VR chat community on the VR chat Discord.
Now you work with him.
Yeah. Now I work with him. Yeah. Cubed is cute. I have nothing against Cubed. What I
Shout
have
out to Cube,
against.
by the way.
Yeah.
He's actually really cool.
Shout out to
Cubed is
Interesting to
Shout out to
talking
Simple
to
Flips
him
and
is
Cubed.
always. Shout out to
Yeah.
Flip Trip.
Shout out
to Flip Trip. Flipple Trip. Cubed is really chill, really chill and really nice and also very clever, and I don't know have a better way of putting it that way, but they're clever both in wit and just what they do. It's pretty crazy. And
Okay,
when's he done?
Let's get Cubed on when VR chat hits another milestone.
Sure.
That you might know what I'm talking about.
I bet he has some great stories about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be a fun one.
That'd be cool.
Well, we're running just under 2 hours right now.
Oh, yeah, actually, done.
Yeah.
Is that since Oh, okay.
Well, it's an hour and a half since I
we
joined.
probably got an hour of actual material.
Yeah, a bit over.
Yeah.
Well, do we have anything else that we need to bring up?
We can lightning through the rest.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Maybe.
Lightning round. Go.
Okay.
What else do we have?
Christmas and New Year. What did you guys do?
I was on VR chat for 15 minutes and decided it wasn't worth my time.
Oof. I
was
remember
on
meeting up with you in VR chat on Christmas. New Year.
Well, not on Christmas. New Year's,
New Year.
definitely. I was on the whole night.
Yeah.
We skipped the Ray.
We skipped.
What?
What have you been up to? Yeah.
Christmas night, I took a nap and I woke up at 11 and everyone in my friend list was asleep.
Oh no.
So that felt kind of bad.
Oh no. I saw your Christmas animation there. That was good.
Oh yeah, that was good.
You have to watch Xade Combat.
Thanks.
I know I have to watch Xade.
I didn't travel home and didn't see my family, and my girlfriend went back to go see her family, but I stayed home because I didn't want to leave the cats for that long, and I worked the whole time.
Oh no.
It was great. It was actually pretty nice.
Is Landvale back with you now?
Yeah.
Good.
No, she stayed there. She left me.
Well, I don't know how long back. I mean, it could have been for a month or what. I don't know.
Yeah, she went for 2 weeks or so.
I heard her yelling at some point earlier.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you were arguing about some...
It was about Fire versus Diablo. Taco Bell sauce, and she was like, "Fire's hotter than Diablo." And it's like, well, I want the smoky taste. I want them smoky goodness. Gotta get that high tier sauce.
I was working, but I managed to get on New Year's with 2300 ping on my laptop.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Any fun events at the oil place?
One place caught on fire.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Whoa.
Sounds like a J.
Sounds like
Merry
sounds like a
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Merry
some
Christmas, you get a
fireworks.
burning inferno.
Mm.
Cool. I'm glad I put this one. I'm glad I put this one after the Christmas one because I went to Japan. It was cool. I went to Japan like from like the 20th of December, and I stayed there for like a good 25 days and stuff. And we had like a little bit of a VR chat meetup. A was there, and Denmo was there, and TCL was there. And we did Japan things. And I met Syntax, and Syntax was great, and it was all really cool. And this is probably something that I'm gonna keep referring back to in times because like it was a very very eventful trip, and I really can't like bring up. I can't recall everything of it. I bought a lot of Kamen Rider stuff. I spent a lot of time in Akihabara. For Christmas, we went to the soba restaurant owned by Tanabe, the VR chat player, and had some awesome soba. I also met like two really cool Japanese VR chat players, Reki and Kame. And they do really nice, like they have really cute avatars and do cute dances on Twitter. And New Year's I was
Hold
trying.
on. I have to say this because I was talking to Abe recently, and I'm sure it's fine of me saying this, but he went to the soba restaurant, to Tanabe soba restaurant, and there was a group sitting next to his group who were also happened to be VR chat players.
That happened 2 out of 3 times. There were VR chat groups. There are other VR chat groups.
Tanabe was talking to this group of Japanese VR chat players, and then he mentions to them, "Oh, hey, by the way, this guy sitting over here, yeah, he's one of the staff." Literally blew the guy's minds.
That's great.
Yep. There was a time with we had like we exchanged pleasantries with like one of the other groups, and I was like, yeah, I'm Noe. I made the Noe pens and the Noe shaders, and like one of them was like, oh hey, yeah, cool. Thank you for your services to VR chat and stuff.
Thank you for your service, milady.
And then like
That's adorable.
But like it got to TCL, and he was like, TCL was like, he was stumbling on his words, he was trying to explain it, and then he was like, wait, and he got out his phone, and he just he's opened up the VR chat store page, like the Steam store page for VR chat, and just
Oh my
pinned it
God.
to himself. And like, of course, like the whole table started laughing.
Perfect.
So that was good. That was great. Oh, another cool thing about the Tanabe interactions. Tanabe has like a really cool waiter working for him. I think, and like he was like this really like he looks really oriental, and his accent is so refined, and like I guess it'd be like the English equivalent of like, could I get you another glass of wine, sir? Like that, like really, really perfect, like traditional waiter. He had like the kind of Chinese facial hair, and his head hair was tied back in a bandana. And like when I was saying goodbye to Tanabe, like on the last time, I did I did this.
Oh jeez.
Like with all its imperfections and stuff. And like behind Tanabe, that guy just did the exact same thing back to me. He knew. And since then, I saw a screenshot of taken in VR chat of Tanabe and the waiter, both of them playing with their 3D models of themselves. So I know he does play, but like that moment was like, wow. I had to take a breather after that.
Breather.
That's enough on Japan for now. I'm sure it'll come up in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. I can segue this. While I was in Japan, something aired on TV. It was the VTuber anime. I watched it. It was pretty bad.
I haven't watched it yet.
I've heard it's pretty bad.
it was like, I mean, I don't want to talk shit because it's like it's nice that this kind of thing's happening, and it also gave a lot of appreciation to a lot of exposure to some of the more independent VTubers as well, and their little eye catches and stuff. Like it's a good thing. It's just the show, like the comedy was flat, and like the whole setup was it doesn't really follow a narrative. It's like it's a sketch show, so like it'll go from like here's one joke to here's a totally different setting with another joke, and and then at one point one of the jokes is it's Unity-chan, and she's playing games, and she's just kind of introducing herself like hello, my name is Kaku Otori, people call me Unity-chan and stuff, and then gaming intensifies and she ends up rolling around the room and everything. That was the best part. I think everyone is unanimously agreeing on. The rest is like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like the show. It seems like the qualities of the VTubers themselves fail to really come out in the show, and it ends up feeling like. It ends up feeling like someone put effort into like a VR chat video, and like that's the result. Like that's just the that's the joke. The joke is that it's a show about
So what
VTubers.
you're saying is that VR chat is now better than
It is
anime.
still airing. You can still watch it. It's called Bacharu Sanwa Miteru. It is VR. It's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of VR chat the anime, except if VR chat was really watered down.
Yeah. So VR chat is better than anime.
Yeah, VR chat's better than anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly think like the same format could actually be like made in VR chat by like more independent users, and it could probably go over a lot better than the show does, to be honest.
I want to see someone make that now.
It was actually though, like one thing that I did find really cool was that like it kind of dawned on me that I was in Japan watching a Japanese show on Japanese TV featuring a 3D model that my friend made. Like the Digi made. I was like, wow, same guy who made this. Same guy who made Tupper. Tupper's dead.
Using shaders that another one of our friends may or may not have made or contributed
I
to.
don't think so. I don't know. I think it's just the normal UTS. I don't know. I don't know what the shader game is.
Well, no, it depends on what exactly they rendered it in. Like if they did it in in MMD or something like that, which seems ridiculous, but who knows?
Probably Unity. I mean, it has Unity chan in it.
Well, I mean, who knows? It's hard to tell because they probably used a lot of different things to mux like the content together. I don't know what you do for CGI, like raw CGI like that. Honore.
Shut up! Don't fucking talk shit on Ray not talking. You said you'd fucking get in here. Go send me request an invite and I'll get you in.
Who you should poke at?
Don't let Pants in unless he talks.
Pants has to talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Hold on. Where are you? Fucking come here.
Pants, you can come in, but you have to talk.
Honore.
I just invited you. Better get in here and you better talk. Don't just fucking make noises at me like you did last time.
Say some Kamen Rider shit.
Say some
Kamen Rider shit.
Jump down and say some Rider shit.
See? There he is.
There he is.
Oh boy. Oh lord, he coming.
By the way, like that's all the main topics. There's one more thing, but I want to close the stream with that, so we can talk with Pants.
Okay.
Come on, question time featuring Pants. Yeah, get your ass over here. We have a spot.
Come here.
Get in here.
Come here.
Get in here. Okay.
Oh man, he's gotta sit for me. Stinky. Damn.
Say hi, Pants.
Stinky.
Hi, what's up? What's good?
Hey, what's good?
What's poppin' bees?
Talking.
What's poppin'
Pants talking?
Well, I'm not talking. You're listening to a synthetic voice that's generated via my bad vocal cords right now.
Oh,
okay. Pants.
No, stop adding me.
At Pants. Everybody at Pants in general too, please.
No, stop!
At Pants.
At pants, alright.
Okay, so
swear to God, if
let's
I get, like,
segue
7 things right
into
now.
the question Q&A while Pants and Ray are here. If you have questions for either of
I
them,
hear the sounds
you
of
can,
things.
go ahead and ask.
I got some questions for Pence to start off.
Okay.
Hit me.
Why do you play VR chat? Why'd you start? Why'd you start? How'd you start playing VR chat?
You asked that in such an aggressive tone.
Why did you fucking start? Why do you even play
Why
VR
are
chat?
you even here?
I don't know, honestly.
Why you play your head, fucker?
Why are you insulting me? Already?
Holy shit!
This is what I was hoping for from this episode.
I don't know. I wanted to be the anime girl, and I wanted to be a fucking Chunibyo, you know, Rider toys and all that noise toys. Yeah, so I played VR
Yeah.
chat.
How did you find out about it originally? Like what brought you to VR chat?
I don't remember actually. I think it was like 2 years ago where I saw like a clip of it somewhere. I don't remember where. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a while.
Damn.
That's a good question
It's
for Ray
been-
too. Ray, what got you into VR
Yeah,
chat?
yeah.
How'd you find out?
How'd you find out?
My first actual video of VR chat that I watched was like the video of like Matt 6 brutally murdering someone.
Hmm.
One of the
I
Max
think that was
videos,
it.
probably.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I just, hey, I could probably just be a Hibiki in VR chat, and yeah, that's where I am now.
A dream worth
Making-
pursuing.
I can
Goddamn
respect
boats.
Hey!
that. He's my favorite boat.
Goddamn boats.
Oh, nice.
That's my favorite boat. That's why I sang Susie
love
twice in Hearts of Iron 4.
Snap.
And Ray thought I also want to be brutally murdered by a small one. Is this true?
See?
Did you also
Sunk.
want to be brutally murdered?
Well, I killed Snap again.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Same. What?
Matt 6
Same.
is pretty
Oh.
stacked for a lolly, TBH.
Well, he's literally just like the character he's
scaled
based
down
off of.
teenager.
Yeah. The character he's based off of is not like a small girl. She's like a average like proportion
Don't talk
18-ish
to
year
me or
old.
my son ever again.
Yeah, exactly. He literally took the model into the Unity and just grabbed the scale like box and just dragged it down a little bit.
Okay, I have a question for Pants and Ray. You can answer it however, in whichever order you like. Oh, how did you two learn about Kamen Rider, and what was your first show?
Ooh.
Okay, you first. You first.
What? Why me?
You first.
Why me? Well, Kamen Rider. I think ad on my local TV station. I think the first one I watched was Ryuki. Yeah, they actually aired it over here. Yeah, for a while.
Like,
So I
actually,
started on
Ryuki,
that.
not Dragon Knight.
not Dragon Knight. I know there's like Dragon Knight fans out there, and I like Ryuki more. Shut up. Stop it. Yeah, like this guy, get him out of here. Get out of here. But yeah. So it aired Ryuki, and then I think Fives right after when Ryuki ended. So yeah, I was like some lame ass kid with like bootleg Ryuki advent cards running around like, whoa, Kamen Rider, that's so cool. Yeah. And yeah, that's about it, honestly. Then, you know, time ticked on, and I was like, oh wait, there's still Kamen Riders? I didn't know there's other Kamen Riders. Television, there's the world outside television? I didn't know that. Then I started watching more. Yeah. There you go.
Nice. as for me, I think the first time was like I was in my uncle's house and he had all these like Kamen Rider toys and shit. Like, and the first one was Ryuki that like I was like interested in because it had animals and like monsters and like all these cards are like really cool. So I started watching Ryuki, and then when I watched Vice, since I was like a little kid at that time, Vice kind of scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Can you feel?
So so I just stopped watching Kamen Rider, and then fast forward a few years later, I started watching. My cousin showed me Decade and Double, so I started watching O's and Forze, and yeah, eventually I just watched the entire series. So I skipped Wizard and Ghost. I think that was it.
And Ghost, I've seen both Wizard and Ghost.
Ghost is the one series you don't watch.
Ghost is the waste of time. Wizard actually, like Wizard himself, he's my favorite rider. His choreography is really good, his fighting style and everything, and I really like his attitude, like as a character and stuff. The show is very slow though, unfortunately. It has some good characters, but yeah, it's not one for Kamen Rider theater, I don't think.
What I like about Ghost is like it had nice sound effects and memes. It had like good sound effects, and OST is pretty good. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Ghost. The story was infuriating, but yeah, the problem is like it had such a. We're in like Kamen Rider review hour right now, by the way. It had such a good pitch. It's like the undead Kamen Rider coming back from the dead, using the spirits of fallen heroes of the past to fight on his motorbike that's shaped like a horse. It's Kamen Rider Ghost, and he has like this cool suit, and he has like a hood and everything. It's like it's really cool and edgy and stuff. And then like it comes,
He was so cool in the Drive movies.
He was great in Drive, yeah. What a
wasted
shame.
potential.
Nice. I'm gonna
apparently like some.
I'm gonna name this episode something Kamen Rider related.
Bachiri Miro.
Apparently, like because he floats around in the Drive movie and like shit. Apparently, like some kids found it too scary, so their mothers were like, "Don't put this in the show."
Scary.
Oh my god.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go.
Yeah.
I liked it better when Tommy was the Green Ranger. TV, honestly.
Ooh. You know, I gotta agree with you.
Yeah.
Actually,
the White Ranger was just way too edgy.
Yes.
Power Rangers, like as a kid, I watched bits of it. I forgot
Good
like,
to
everything
see
of
you
it. I was never really a
guys.
fan.
Taking care of you is also one of my jobs. The last thing you want in your Kamen Rider movie is an actor that only speaks English. But as it turns out, that may be what you get.
Some people think this joke is old. What do you think? Leave a comment below.
They're still going for it.
Fucking hell.
I'm crashing this instance with no survivors.
Oh shit.
I got a question. Let's branch off. Actually, no. Wait. Power Rangers thing. One more thing. So I watched Twitch did a marathon. They just add all of Power Rangers, and I watched all of the first few seasons.
Nice.
In the Twitch marathon. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I still have the emotes from it because they're like permanent if you sub.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I got a question actually. Did you guys meet in VR chat?
No. No.
No.
you knew each other before VR chat?
Yes.
How many years have we known each other for now, anyway?
Like from 2010.
Yo,
Was it 2010? Yeah, it's been. It's been. Yeah, we
Like,
met each
You
other
got
on.
from Deviant Art, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, art,
Yeah.
manga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Black
That's
History.
Black History.
Oh
Was this like in like the Bernie circles?
Exposed. What?
Was this in the Bernie circles?
No comment.
Let me see your OC pants.
Yo.
Oh shit.
You know, what's their first soda?
No. Nah, we were actually Toho. We knew each other because of
Toho
Toho
guys.
stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Yep.
Yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense.
Show me your Kamen Rider OC.
Oh shit. It's Kamen Rider cup. You pour the liquid into the cup and then you like.
Hey, wait, that's me.
it in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't you see Snap earlier? She was just shoving
Yeah,
mugs under her ass.
I don't know how to feel about that one, but
No,
congratulations.
hold on.
Two-
Snap, do it again. Like, we put it
God.
on the ground.
Oh, no.
What? Okay, stand right there and watch this. Look at the way her hand moves. It's fucking hilarious. It's so good.
You heard it here first, folks. Kamen Rider Cup, coming 2021, maybe. I don't know.
Kamen Rider Cup.
Shit.
Kamen Rider Cup.
Alright.
Kamen Rider pants. Instead of henshin belt, it's henshin pants.
You kind of just put it on one leg at a time. It kind of takes the
Snaps
enemy.
yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The henshin is like they do the elaborate like arm movement and then they lean down to pull their pants out.
Or down.
Or down,
Or
yeah.
down.
Like in like the angry like man. really really serious.
Remember in Build when Sento's just like angrily shaking the bottles, just the
You guys
main
remember
character angrily just ripping his pants off.
It's like that one gift.
Oh, you know.
I think we're at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Those of you who did, this is gonna go on YouTube as well. When I edit it and stuff, it'll happen before next Thursday. It'll happen next Thursday at the latest. It'll be up. Already.
Oh boy, what is this man's doing?
This week, arms are heavy.
Oh boy, what's he doing? Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's loading. Wait, it's still loading on the laptop.
Wait, which one is that? Bill? I don't remember my emotes.
Oh no,
It's
Ray.
still loading on the laptop. It's still loading. Don't do it yet.
Oh my god, he has AirPods in. Oh
There
god,
it
I
is.
can't hear us. He can't hear us.
Let's go.
His
I have to
hazard
do
is
it
on.
here.
Gondola, very edgy, very cool.
Do it.
Yeah, Ray, do the thing.
Oh.
I'm not ready.
It's so good.
Man, I wish I were cool.
I mean,
By
that
the
was
way-
a pretty cool animation.
Yeah, that was
You made it.
that was pretty.
Pants.
Pants.
What? Me?
But-
me?
Do me a
Hold it.
favor.
That was awesome.
Get in front of the
By the
camera
way-
and point at it and make a funny face.
Oof. That's
By the way, By the way, I made this clonable for now.
What?
Oh damn! With all the
Hey,
animation.
he did it.
It's been.
Yoink.
Alright, so
Yeah.
just start
However-
animation and... Oh my.
I don't believe
Oh my.
everyone's doing it now.
However,
God.
you might experience
Don't kill my
some
laptop,
frame drops.
please.
Or my laptop.
Do I just dab the whole time? That sounds good.
No way. You broke the freaking camera, so now I can't see myself.
Am I a
Okay.
Kamen Rider yet?
Give it a few seconds. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Papa.
What's
Perfect.
cooler than being cool?
Oh god. Everyone's doing
Not
it.
everyone's a Kamen Rider.
And when everyone's right is...
No one is.
Dang.
I can't see it in the camera. Hack and hack.
Yeah,
Get a better camera.
it doesn't show up locally.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
This is
Okay.
perfect.
Last thing I want to touch on, there are like some meetups planned. I'm going to SakuraCon and Anime Expo. I think a lot of the rest of us are as well. I think Synlogic is going.
Yep.
Synlogic, where are you
SakuraCon,
going? Which
yeah.
one's you going?
Anime and
SakuraCon,
manga.
Snap.
Yes, I'm going to SakuraCon NAX.
Snap's going to
Oh, I
both.
want full
Pepper.
tracking.
You should. The only thing I can see an issue right now is your scar.
What meetups are you going to? You going to
Oh, God,
SakuraCon,
this
you going
is-
to AX?
Yeah.
This is really confusing. I'm kind of into it.
Oh,
I'm
hold on.
going to. So SakuraCon is one I'm going to definitely. AX is a
SakuraCon's
90.
already said.
Yeah, AX is a 95% no because I am instead going to TwitchCon this year. That is the current
Are you
plan.
going to TwitchCon?
It seems more relevant for like getting in contact with some of the other parts of the community that isn't necessarily just anime.
Yep. It is.
okay.
So yeah.
Can't confirm.
So
if
yeah.
it's in San Jose again this year,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going.
Unless it's in Europe, in which case that's going to
Well,
be interesting.
No,
Is this
the,
on
the
a,
Europe one
TwitchCon?
is in addition to the US one.
This is
Oh,
on a
okay.
rigid body, isn't it?
So I
Europe,
will
the
be
Europe
at
one's in April, I
TwitchCon,
think.
wherever it's going to be. I'm probably not going to AX just because that was torturous for various reasons. SakuraCon, I'm definitely going to because that's already set up. Those are the two I know about.
All right.
Yeah. So come to SakuraCon, come to TwitchCon if you want to hang out with what'll be as close to an official VR chat meetup as there is.
Well, I was going to ask about that actually.
I want full body tracking.
Has there been any talk about like official VR chat involvement in anything?
Has there been talk? Yes. Has there been conclusions? No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something that we are.
Not going to get my
We're
heart
think-
set on an AX booth then.
No, I doubt sincerely that like I know for a fact that we wouldn't want to booth at like AX because it doesn't really fit exactly right. I don't know if TwitchCon has booths, but if they do, then yeah, sure.
Do.
Yeah. The main thing I also want to know about is like
Sansar had one.
Yeah.
Last year.
I think it would be cool for me to go to TwitchCon so I can go to that Devolver Digital. Oh no, that was at E3. Devolver Digital had a panel at E3 that had free in and out.
Oh yeah.
And like whole burgers and fries and everything. You just walk up and they hand it to you. Anyways, yeah, I guess that's it. What else?
The other thing is there was talk amongst Ewan and some other users that to like VR Lando and stuff. There's been talk about a bigger Japan meetup for a long time now.
Yes, I want to do that.
Tentatively named Rapan. The current
And I want to.
the currently
get full body
discussed
tracking.
period is
That's so nice.
like holiday next year, like holiday this year coming.
Yeah,
So,
holiday 2019 is the current idea.
Don't know if that's gonna stick, but like, I mean, I'm down for whatever. I'd love to go back to Japan whenever.
I want to go.
Yeah.
I definitely want to go.
You got style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, that's probably it for the mute list. Ever. This is the last one. Thanks for
Oh.
subs.
Ever.
Losers. We're taking the money and bailing.
This is weird.
Oh shit! I get to be on the last one. I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
don't judge.
What is
Avatar
this?
cloning
What
is
is
the best
what
thing
is open
ever.
hand?
Thank God. Thanks,
It's
Ollie.
default.
The camera has
I
name
didn't make
tags
an
off.
animation
It's supposed to
for
be
it.
very confusing.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be marker erase, but I forgot to add marker back on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are we done? Are we saying goodbye?
We're done. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Okay. Farewell
Bye.
to our loyal watchers. Thank you for all the donations and bits and supports and Bitcoin and Buttcoin and Garlic Coin and Litecoin and Ethereum and Pants Coin and yeah, you got your own
And
crypto.
Top Coin.
Rider
I
coin.
definitely don't have that.
Remember the what was it again? Like the video, share the video.
Remember the Alamo.
Ring that bell button.
Hell yeah. Join the notification squad and
Just
Remember the Alamo.
utterly destroy that like button.
Yeah.
Like, just punch a hole through your monitor. Like, fuck that.
yeah,
Fuck it.
utterly completely
Don't fuck the
annihilate
Yeah,
your
yeah.
monitor
Just pound the
with
shit
the
out of that
power
like
of
button.
your click. Buy a new mouse and use the one click you get by slamming your fist down on that subscribe button.
Procure a gun through legal methods and shoot
Yeah.
the like button. Just get a deagle.
Just
And
shoot
blast
it. Just gun. Just shoot it. Just shoot it. What are you doing? Shoot your monitor. Shoot your monitor. Shoot your monitor. Just shoot the monitor.
Just
shoot it.
Just
Just
shoot
Right now,
shoot the
right now,
monitor.
if you have a
Do it.
gun
Just-
and the
just
monitor
do
is
it.
there,
Just
give
shoot
it
the monitor.
fucking face.
Gun.
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 Let me Ave actually has one. God.
I only got funky gun. I can't do anything.
Look at Pepper. What's his problem?